Cara, thank you very much for being there.
No
Let's
problem.
back up a little bit and talk about what the truce is all about before we get to the other parts of the deal. There was a fight between the two companies, right?
Yeah, there was a patent lawsuit that was waged by Yahoo's previous CEO, Scott Thompson, who was later ousted. They were trying to extract a lot of money from Facebook over patents, which is a which is happening a lot in Silicon Valley now. So it was the first in the consumer internet space, and unusual because Yahoo and Facebook had been very strong partners, and so they attacked without telling Facebook, essentially.
Okay, and Thompson had actually said that this lawsuit would pay off billions.
Brilliant.
I guess that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
billions of dollars. So they've backed off that now. What do they get? What else are they getting out of the deal?
Well, a settlement, because these lawsuits can go on, and Facebook has really bulked up its own patent portfolio. In the interim, paying Microsoft a $500 million, buying other patents, doing a countersuit. This company was not backing down against Yahoo, so that was one of the problems. It could get very expensive, even if Yahoo was victorious. It's not a very great victory to be at war with your partners. Secondly, they got an ability to do more deep content deals, which have been working really well for Facebook and Yahoo. And they've added on a layer of advertising partnerships where if there's an ad on, this is the first time it's going to happen, if there's an ad on Yahoo, which has much better display ads, the Facebook likes can go in that ad, which is kind of an interesting concept. So advertisers love that idea because they know if people are looking at these display ads. And they're going to sell joint things like the Super Bowl and things like that together. So that's all good. I mean, when they're working together, they could possibly do very well because each has what the other doesn't have.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, Yahoo has so much content. Tell us why the change of heart here. I mean, you mentioned that litigation can be very expensive. Is that the sole reason, or is there something else?
I think a lot of people didn't want to do this lawsuit within Yahoo. It was very much pushed by the CEO and several board members, and those board members are gone from Yahoo, and there's a whole new board there, really. There's some remaining members who were involved in the initial lawsuit, but, now they're pretending they never imagined doing that. But what's interesting is that, they have an attitude, I think, that doesn't get them anywhere. And I think the old CEO thought it did, and the old legal head and the old board did, but the new one thinks it's better to settle because the cost to reputation, attracting engineers, this is not welcomed by engineers in Silicon Valley, these patent lawsuits. And it doesn't, even if they get billions, there's other costs that maybe Yahoo couldn't bear.
Yeah, and those costs are very important, the reputation cost, particularly for a company that's been going through hard times. Does this mark a turning point for Yahoo, do you think?
Well, there's a couple they're hiring a very good sales executive, Michael Barrett, recently. The settlement of the China talks, the China fracas that went on and, tarnished Yahoo quite a bit. The settlement of a proxy fight. They're going into this annual meeting next week with a lot of things that were outstanding settled. Now, the only thing that's not settled is who's the CEO. Either Ross Levinson, who is the interim CEO, or as I reported yesterday, Jason Kilar of Hulu.
We're going to get to that in a moment, Cara. One of the other pieces of this deal that they've struck on content sharing basically was Facebook in turn gets user contact data from Yahoo. So it's possibly more Facebook members. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, this is a previous deal. They've already been doing that. Facebook's been getting email information and vice versa. There's been information being traded. But this is just an extension of what had already existed in the first partnership. So it's just more of the same essentially, and closer ties.
Now, what I know about these companies is they're very big and they have very, very different corporate cultures. Is that going to be hard for them to work together? This won't be a marriage made in heaven, will it?
Well, it's that they're not merging. I mean, they're doing a partnership that plays to both their strengths. Yahoo has amazing content, and Facebook doesn't. And Facebook has amazing social, and not so good on the premium ads. Not so good. Yahoo's very good at premium ads and the ability to please marketers. And so they kind of have what each other doesn't. And it's not a marriage. I wouldn't say it's a friendship that's returned, a partnership that's returned.
Okay, I got ahead of myself. Things start with friendship, though. Okay.